This is lesson 19, and lesson 19 is about pronouns. In this lesson, I'm going to introduce you to the third part of speech. If I should ask you, who whispered in my classroom? And some pupil should promptly, that means straight away, confess, that means admit to doing it. What do you think he would say? Remember, write your answer out in full. He would probably say, I whispered. I whispered. W-H-I-S-P-E-R-E-D. I whispered. Would he mention his own name? No, comma. He would not mention his own name. Full stop. That's how you should have done the answer. What word would he use instead? The word he would use instead would be I. Now, suppose that I had spoken to that pupil and had accused him of whispering. How should I have addressed him, that means spoken to him, without mentioning his name? You should have said, you whispered. You whispered. What word would be used instead of the name of the boy or girl? You would have used the word you instead of the name of the pupil. Now, suppose that without using his name, I had told you what he did. What should I have said? You should have said, he whispered. What word would have been used instead of the name of the pupil of whom I spoke? You would have said he for a male pupil or she for a female pupil. He whispered or she whispered. Now, if I should tell that boy to close his book, when his book was already closed, what could he say back to me without mentioning the word book? He could have said, it is closed. If I should accuse several of you of whispering all at once, and one should speak for himself and for all the others who are whispering with him, and he were to admit to it, what would he say? He would say, we whispered. Suppose that a boy should inform me, that is tell me, that all of the boys on that seat, if they're all sitting in a row on the form, on the bench, had whispered. What would he say? He would say, they whispered. The words I, you, he, she, it, we, and they are not names, but they are used instead of names. And we call such words pronouns, from a Latin pro, for, nouns. For nouns, they are standing for a noun in place of a noun. They are pronouns. I want you to write the following definitions into your book. 1. In capital letters, Definition, full stop. Definition, full stop. And then in a normal sentence with capitals and small letters, a pronoun, P-R-O-N-O-U-N, a pronoun is a word used for a noun, full stop. Capital letters rule. Write this out in capital letters. Capital letters rule, full stop. And then in normal letters, capitals and small as appropriate, the words I, using a capital I, the words I and O, using a capital O, and O should be written in capital letters, full stop. Now this word O, capital O, is mainly used in poetry. Oh, how pleasant, etc., etc. And of course the word I, referring to yourself, always has a capital letter under all circumstances. It never has a small letter. I is always a capital I. And that's the end of this section of the lesson.